All right, now that we have installed and we've downloaded Packet Tracer. Packet Tracer is actually it's a network simulation tool that is built by Cisco. So the same company that makes the real routers, the switches that is used by a lot of companies, MTN, Vodacom, Standard Bank, most of government institutions as well, they do use Cisco devices. So when you configure your router in the Packet Tracer, you'll be using the exact same commands that you will use on a real Cisco device in a data center. In the middle is your workspace. This is where you're going to drag and drop all your network devices and then connect them, with cables. And on the bottom left, we've got the device library, those little icons there that represents types of network equipment and so on. For example, if we want to say we want to put we want to add devices into workspace, so it's basically this is the skill that you will use in every single day. So we're gonna click on the router category. So I've got a router category here, and I'm just gonna drag this router here, the 2901 router, this one. So I'm gonna put it in the center. So this is our first router, and then we just need to label it. So if we double click on it, let me just get this window here. It just popped up on my other screen. You will see here it says where is it, name. So under config, all right, I was just looking for that because now sometimes it says router 0, so we can actually rename it by I'm just gonna name it a RTR, this RTR, and then JHB01. You can just delete the default name. It actually helps to name your devices. If you delete the default name and then you type RTR JHB01. So this is our Johannesburg router, like we've seen with the image. So the naming conventions is the device type, the city code, the site number. That's how you actually name your router. So you'll see this naming convention being used at companies like Dimension Data and and other big companies as well. So the naming convention used in enterprise network, like we say RTR, that's a router, and then SW is a switch. Then the city code, like JHB is Johannesburg, Cape Town CPT, right? And then Durban is DBN, and then Pretoria is PDA, and so on. Bloemfontein is BFN. So then the site number. For example, so that's just a standard in IT department. All right, now let's go ahead and add 2 switches. So I'm gonna close this, that we can see now it has a nice name there, and then I'm gonna switch over to the switches. Now I'm gonna just drag the 2960 switch, which is this one, or I can click on it and then we can just click. So there's another way without dragging. It's just click on it and then you just click on the left side of the switch. So make sure that you select the 2960 model. So this one we will just go ahead and name it. So again, we double click and then we're gonna go to config. So we're gonna go to config, and then this one we name it as SW CPT for Cape Town, and then 01. And then we can make sure that the name is saved, and then we close. And then I'm gonna put another switch somewhere here, and then again we name it, double click, and this one we can just name it as the Durban switch. So we can go config, and then we name it as the Durban switch. So that's gonna be SW DBN 01. Now we've got two switches. One is for Cape Town and another one is for Durban. Now let's connect them together. So let's connect them together. So we're gonna click here on the connections, of course, which is we're gonna select the copper straight cable. So if you're not sure, you must just go over the cable, and then it will tell you which cable is it. So the copper straight through cable is the one that is solid, that has a solid line. And then we're gonna click on the router, which is this one, and then you'll see there's a pop-up there that appears. So it's asking you which interface we want to use. So we're gonna select the Gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So this is the first Gigabit Ethernet on the port, okay? And then we're gonna go to the Cape Town switch. We click somewhere here, and then here we're gonna select Gigabit Ethernet /01. So then we're gonna do the same thing here, and then basically we're just doing the same thing. And then we're gonna save. Now let's save. Control S to save. And I'm just gonna save it where I can find it easily. So you can do the same thing. Maybe save it in your documents or something. I can just remember. And I'm just gonna name it Packet Tracer. Lessons. And then let's give it let's save it as, so I'm gonna save it as Elpda Solutions EP. Perhaps you can save it in your desktop or anywhere where you can find. So you always save your Packet Tracer files. So because the thing is, you do not want to redo all the work. So what we've done so far, you've installed the software, you've navigated the interface, and then we've placed the devices on the canvas. And then we connected them with the cables and saved your work, the network file. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we're going to take that simple topology, use the packet tracer simulation mode to watch the packets travel through the OSI in real time, layer by layer. And then trust me, once you see it happen, the OSI model will never be confusing again, right?